Hi guys, this is Ivan. It's Sunday the 24th of November, around about 3 o'clock in the afternoon in South Africa. And I wasn't actually going to do this. I was going to try and put some pictures together, but I decided the only way to really share this interesting picture in the skies using Stellarium is to make a quick video. So please excuse the sound quality. I'm just using some very basic equipment that I had lying around, and a very basic screen recorder. So, but it'll get the message across. So I just wanted to. So let me take you through it. I've got Stellarium set up. Location is set up for Jerusalem, so that you got the Jerusalem skyline. We happen to be on the same timeline as Jerusalem, so my computer is set up on the same. So the time that's reflected here will be the same time as Jerusalem. So I want to start off at 1720. I don't know. That just seems like a good day, a good time to start off with. It's the midpoint of when Mercury crossed the Sun in the that transition that happened on the 11th of the 11th, and the midpoint was 20 past 5. So it's also just after sunset. If I go back an hour, you'll see there's sunset. Sunset is about 20 past 4 in Jerusalem now. So this is just after sunset, so the stars will be visible. What I've also done is I've just made the Milky Way brighter in Stellarium, so that you can see exactly where the Milky Way is in relation to the stars that I just want to speak about. So I just want to talk about I'm starting off on the 22nd, and then I'm going to move forward day by day, just so that you can see the picture in the sky. And I really believe this is telling us a story that we need to take note of. You'll see we've got Saturn in the picture there, and we've got Jupiter and Venus, and then we've also got Aquila, which is directly above Jupiter and Venus, and I think that's quite significant as well, the eagle. And as you'll see, I'll play Aquila comes down to land on Earth as we play this, as we play out this story going forward. So just going forward a day at a time, we can see how Venus. There were a couple of photos that people shared on the forum where Venus and Jupiter were clearly visible just after sunset. And so I'm going to just play it one day at a time. This is the 23rd. You'll see Venus got closer to Jupiter. Saturn's still pretty much in the same place, same time. And then today, this is the 24th. You'll see this is when they get the closest. 24th of November, Venus is the closest, and the 25th is when they're right next to one another. I think that this will be quite a bright star together in the skies if those that get the opportunity to actually see it. That's if we get there, because I believe this is really telling a story that we need to take note of, and I'd prefer to see all this from the heavens, quite frankly, as I'm sure most of you would as well. Anyway, so tomorrow, this is what the picture looks like tomorrow. That's when Jupiter and Venus are right next to one another. Saturn's still slightly above. So I'm going to play on. If we carry on playing this picture, we'll see from that point Venus starts pulling away, and Jupiter starts going below the horizon for the same time slot, 20 past 5 in the evening. And there's an interesting thing that happens here on the 28th of November. Just check out this. We've got the moon right sitting between Venus and Jupiter. It's a dark moon, and it only happens at this time. It's uncanny. I can't get it to happen any other time. So I don't know what the meaning of it is at all. I think it means something. I don't know. It's definitely got some significance. On the 28th, there it is. 28 has always been my number. It's come 28, and 128 has been my number right throughout my life, but I don't know what this means, quite honestly. Alright, so if we move on to the 29th, then the moon will be a little bit higher. Jupiter is still dropping below the horizon. By the 30th, Jupiter is out of the scene, below the horizon, and Venus starts approaching as we move along. Venus starts approaching Saturn, and I think this is the part that's most interesting to me. You know, a couple of people have been talking about the 12th of December. I know Steve Fletcher's been talking a lot about 12 December. personally, I'm not convinced about it. I think that means something else is going to happen on 12th of December. And I think the picture in the sky is kind of telling us, if we move on, we just keep on now, you can see how Venus comes closer and closer to Saturn, and there we go. On the 12th, we've got exactly next to one another. I don't know what this means, but it's just Venus with Saturn, whereas before, on the 24th of November, we had, on the 25th of November, we had Venus and Jupiter right next to one another. And yeah, we've got a different situation. We've got Venus and Saturn right next to each other. So, yeah, you take it. I can't. I'm not an expert on the star. I'm just telling you this is the picture that we're seeing, and I think it is significant and is telling us a story. And it's you'll see at the top left-hand corner. You see the moon is full moon at this particular point in time. It's almost 100%. It's 99.7% illuminated, so it's almost full moon. And so there's something really significant about that, I think, as well. And then if we just move on, you'll see that there's nothing really after that. There's one other incident, picture in the sky. You see Saturn starts pulling away, Venus is going up, and there's a particular on the 20, when the moon suddenly comes in, there we have it. On the 28th of December, yeah, we have the moon in the picture again with Venus. Saturn and Jupiter are both out of the picture. And notice Aquila is coming down to land. Aquila's getting closer and closer to the horizon as we go. It's almost like Aquila's coming in for a land on the 28th, and as we move on, we'll see there's the moon now on the other side of Venus. That's the next day, still at the same time, just after sunset Jerusalem view, and Aquila is coming down for a landing. And there we go, check at that, and the moon's out of the picture now. Venus is the only one all on her own in the picture, and Aquila has come down to land. And there we are now at the 8th. Let's take it to the 10th of December. Sorry, 10th of January 2020. So what all that means, I couldn't tell you, but I'll leave it up to you to decide. I can make some suggestions, but I'll leave it to you guys to decide. I think it's an interesting picture. It's at this point here that the moon is 100%, by the way. That's now a full moon. Just those last few days, the moon coming in full from the 28th through to the 10th, the last little bit. Yeah, so I'm going to leave it at there. I'm going to leave you with a couple of thoughts.